All right, I want to call this regular meeting of the Simpson County Fiscal Court to order, and I'm going to ask our magistrate, Nathaniel Downey, if he would lead us in a word of prayer, and we'll follow that with the pledge to the flag.
Everybody hears, and we look to the heaven with some of our help. All of our help, Lord, comes from you. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for last night's laying down and this early morning rise, Lord. Lord, please continue to bless the government on the national level, state level, and the local level, Lord. Continue to let the elected officials be able to make the rightful decision, Lord, for the people at hand. Lord, continue to bless the first responders, our law enforcement, Lord, our military that's training each and every day to protect our country, Lord. And thank you for allowing us to be able to come through another Memorial Day, Lord, giving respect to all the ones that have fallen. Lord, continue to bless all the people on the fiscal court here, Lord. Bless our community, Lord. In Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we have some guests with us this morning. We have Michelle Estes with the Soil Conservation. I think you're going to present us just a revised budget.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Chad Kono can be with us this morning, but I'm Michelle Estes with Simpson County Conservation District Operations Manager, and I am bringing a revised budget. Our first budget was $80,000. This is $10,000 less. It is a $70,000 budget for your approval.
I don't know that it's approval as much as we just have to acknowledge that we've received the updated budget.
I have to have approval for state level.
I think that's correct.
Yes, sir. If I do not, I cannot open July 1.
A motion to approve this budget?
Yes.
So we do have to have an approval?
Yes.
All right. Scott, you make the motion?
Yes, sir.
Myron, you second. Any question or discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you, sirs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, from the brand, we have Miss Diana Crockett, and she's going to talk to us about disaster resiliency. Or she is the brand disaster resiliency coordinator. She's going to talk to us about strategic planning.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm Diana Crockett, as the judge already mentioned, and I'm the Disaster Resiliency Coordinator at the Barren River Area Development District. So as you all may or may not know, the BRAD is tasked with updating several regional plans for the state and the federal level. And so part of that is updating the hazard mitigation plan and then also the comprehensive economic development strategy. And so in response to the COVID-19, BRAD has taken a more holistic approach to its planning process. In the past, we would have updated these plans separately and we would have taken a lot more of your time. But this time, we've kind of combined this into a more holistic approach to save on your time and resources as well. So this process revolves around incorporating both hazard mitigation planning and community resiliency practices into the community's current plans that you already have, which makes the community plans more resilient and therefore also more actionable for you all. So the end goal is to have a more practical strategic plan for the county as a whole, and that's also going to feed into some of our larger regional planning processes, and that'll best leverage your local resources. So the Simpson County Steering Committee meets on the third Thursday at 2 p.m. each month to continue their county-wide strategic planning process. And the next meeting will be held Wednesday, June 16th at 2 p.m. We did have a slight change for this next meeting, and it will be held right here at the courthouse.
Yeah, the change was my fault.
So if anybody's interested, we would love for you all to start joining this committee. We're going to start setting goals and action plans in the next coming months, so it would be great to get more involvement. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me directly. I handed out some little pamphlets, a one-pager front and back, that's got some information overall in community strategic planning and what our process is. It's got our contact information on the front, Then on the back, it's got some more information on how to join the Simpson County Steering Committee. And I've left some more handouts up front, and I'm also going to leave some business cards so you all can contact me directly if you have any questions. But are there any questions right now from anybody?
Gentlemen, y'all remember we had started working on a comprehensive community plan prior to the whole COVID pandemic, and then all meetings went virtual, and it was really hard to get that group of people together to meet virtually because there's some things you need to like. And I don't mean that when I say hash out in a room, I don't mean that there was arguments or fights, but you can accomplish much more meeting live than you can meeting via Zoom. And so we're going to resume those meetings, and Diana and the Brad, what they're doing with this strategic planning is going to kind of incorporate, and then you guys will even be able to help us formulate this whole community growth plan.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right,
Yeah.
if there's no questions, I will leave my business cards.
No questions?
All right, thank you so much for your
Donna,
time.
that was quick. We appreciate you being here with us this morning. We appreciate what you guys are doing too. It's been a big help. All right, gentlemen, moving on. If you had an opportunity to review the minutes of our May 11th special call joint city-county meeting, I need a motion and a second.
Motion made.
Motion by Nate,
Second.
second by Marty. I heard Marty first, Myron. All right. Any question or discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, gentlemen, if you had an opportunity to review the minutes of our May 18th regular fiscal court meeting, I need a motion and a second to approve those minutes. Motion by Myron. Second by Scott. Any question or discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, gentlemen, if y'all remember, we had a discussion about the participating in the interlocal agreement with the South Central Workforce Development Board. County attorney said we needed a resolution to do so, and I think a copy of that resolution is there with you. I think it's laying in front of you. If you have questions about it, you can ask the county attorney. He prepared the resolution and says it accommodates what we need to participate in the workforce development. But we would need a motion and a second. Let me see if I can pull up that resolution number. I know it's
210601.
What's that number again, Marty?
2021-06-01.
Yeah.
Basically, I put it contingent that authorization is contingent on the other 9 counties authorizing it and approving it, and you don't sign it unless and until after that happens, and you, at that time, you're authorized to sign the agreement.
I'll make the motion.
So we got a motion by Marty to accept this resolution and participate contingent upon the other 9 counties in the Brad.
Second.
Second by Nate. Any question or discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, gentlemen, is to review and approve a second reading and passage of the zone change ordinance number 920.117. Let's see. That is changing a tract of land from ag to R2.
So moved.
The motion by Marty. Second. Second by Myron. Any question or discussion? And this is a tract of land on Macedonia Road that's already primarily residential along Macedonia Road.
They've already got a duplex. Does it have a duplex already there?
Carter, is there currently a duplex in this vicinity?
There is one duplex located there, located a year ago, with a conditional use permit, which is allowable in the ag zone. The owner apparently owns the rest of the property further back in there.
to rezone all that to an R2, which allows duplexes, multiple structures in that regard. And they have a plan proposing 2 more duplexes down in behind it. They filed their development plan. We've had a preliminary on it so far, and moving forward.
And this is the second reading.
This is second reading. Yeah.
We've already voted on it once.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed in the ordinance from the first reading.
Right.
Any other questions? Thank you, Carter. Pam, on the ordinance, we'll do a roll call, please.
Chandler,
Yes.
Myron Thurman,
Yes.
Nathaniel Downey,
Yes.
Scott Poston, Mason Barnes,
Yes. Next, gentlemen, is to review and approve the second reading and passage of ordinance number 140.01. This is in regards to the South Central Kentucky Drug Task Force, and this is the ordinance that talks about the funding of the city of Franklin, Simpson County, the city of Russellville, Logan County, and that it would be headquartered here in Simpson County. We've already had first reading.
Modified interlocal agreement, or that's,
Yeah, it's modifying an interlocal agreement to continue operations under a different mode, so to speak.
Motion made.
Got a motion by Nate, second by Scott. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, Pam, we'll do a roll call, please.
Nathaniel Downey,
Yes.
Scott Poston,
Yes.
Myron Thurman,
Yes.
Marty Chandler,
Yes.
Mason Barnes,
Yes. Next, gentlemen, is to review and approve second reading and passage of ordinance number 140.02. This is regarding a deputy jailer to assist with the work release inmates. This is where the city of Franklin is wanting to contract to reimburse to have an inmate, or have a deputy to have inmates out on work release.
another agreement.
Yeah, and to authorize that interlocal agreement stating that.
So,
All right, Marty made the motion, second by Myron. Any other question or discussion? Hearing none, Pam, we'll do a roll call on that one, please.
that was Chandler and Thurman,
Yes, ma'am.
Marty Chandler,
yes.
Myron Thurman,
Yes.
Scott Poston,
Yes.
Nathaniel Downey,
Yes.
Mason Barnes,
Yes. Gentlemen, we're going to skip from number 6 to number 8 momentarily. And if you had an opportunity to review the fiscal year 21-22 asphalt bids, we received 2 bids from Dewey's Construction and Scotty's. Bobby, do you want to speak to either of these next 2? I mean, the assumption is Dewey's was the lowest bid on the asphalt. Is that your recommendation?
Yeah, there's less than $2 on the surface. I don't have any problem with anything they've done. I copied you an email. I have asked them to clarify something, though, from this current year. The Macedonia job that was done right about this time, well, in July, August of last year, we went ahead and paid that bill because we were trying to get closed out for the reimbursement and the years change. We weren't happy with that, and they're supposed to come back and do some work on that. And I put them an email that we're still expecting that to be done. And they never said they haven't, but that is a discussion, though. And I think that road would probably be part of it, the whole road resurface. So I've asked them to do the milling at their cost, and then we'll furnish what the asphalt amount, the minimum amount of that little area. But I
I'm
don't
glad
have
you
any
brought
issue.
that road up, because I've had 2 or 3 calls from people that live on that, and it's not in my district, those people are friends with me.
Yeah.
And they're aggravated that they left that bridge that rough.
Well, it was a rough job because of the way we did it, but then also in the winter, some of the places where the approaches have settled even more, which really wasn't, I mean, it's a combination of 2 things, and they're aware of it, though, and Myra and I have talked with different ones, and I'm not saying I want to hold back from anything, but just be aware that is a conversation I'm waiting to have confirmation on.
Maybe if it's gonna be a while before they get a chance to do that, we could maybe take just some asphalt out there, just put it there on the bridge.
Well, it's more the hump instead of a dip.
Oh, okay.
I understand their cause, but if you were driving a fairly reasonable speed, it's not as bad as some other roads that you're going over.
I drove over it the other
It does
day.
need to be addressed,
Yeah.
and I just want you to know, I've had that conversation with them.
So Dewey's is supposed to come back and fix that.
Yeah.
So it's your recommendation that we accept Dewey's as asphalt bid?
What they've done the last couple of years, I've been satisfied. We struggle with timing with them some because since we're local, they kind of use us as fillers, which I understand them doing that though, so, but they still get the job done, so. Yeah, I'm fine with the Dewey's bid right now.
Motion made.
So Nate, you making a motion that we accept the Dewey's bid for asphalt work? So we got a motion by Nate to accept the Dewey's bid. Second by Scott. Any other question or discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, gentlemen, if you had an opportunity to review the crushed stone bids for fiscal year 21-22, again, we had two bidders, Dewey's Construction and Hanson Aggregates. Hanson actually was the lowest bid. My assumption is, Bobby, your recommendation is that we accept Hanson's bid and for crushed stone? All right. So, gentlemen, we'd need a motion and a second to accept Hanson Aggregates' low bid for crushed stone.
So moved.
Motion by Marty. Second by Myron. Any other question or discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Was that Thurman on the second?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That motion carries. Next, gentlemen, if you had an opportunity to review the employee benefits for fiscal year 21-22, we just need a motion to approve those benefits, and I'm going to throw in to authorize the judge to sign any of those agreements. I'm not sure if all of the agreements require signature, but I think some of them do, particularly the McGregor and the Anthem. I'm not sure about the dental.
So moved, Mason.
Second.
Got a motion by Myron, second by Nate. For the public's knowledge, there was no change. It was supposed to be a 0% increase. The bottom line is it's really a net gain to us. There was one that had a very slight increase that will be like pennies to the premium user, and then actually maybe a slight decrease to the standard user. It's a net gain to the county as far as the county's output. So there's really basically zero change in the county's cost for the employee benefits for fiscal year 21-22. So all in favor, aye? Aye. Have 4 ayes and 1 abstention by Magistrate Poston. Next, gentlemen, we had a meeting last week that was well beyond my realm of knowledge. It was with Conica Minolta rep to talk about cloud documentation and to alleviate storage capacity of documents that you have to keep forever and forever and forever. And like I said, it was beyond my realm of knowledge. But it seemed like a good presentation. The ladies seemed to think that it would be beneficial to, number one, it would bring down the cost of your paper consumption. It also would speed up your time for searching documents, storing documents, so on and so forth. I know she'll hit me with something after this meeting, but really, Nicole could probably answer more of these questions than I could because, like I said, cloud storage is beyond my realm of knowledge. But the bottom line is we can get a Conica Minolta agreement for a one-time cost of $800. It's for a training, up to 10 people in that training. And then the ongoing cost would be $42 per month, and we would be looking at 3 users, so it'd be $126 per month.
Now, is this just for your office, or
It's for all departments as far as contracts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
what I'm thinking is the clerk's office, as much paperwork as there is
Well, they
over
have
there.
their own, they have some kind of a document storage. I know that they're using, that they started using through some kind of grant.
Yeah, they've been doing that for years.
yeah.
Okay.
But we could use it, but Nicole's right. I mean, like personnel documents, contracts, agreements, the courthouse here is the central hub for all departments, storing all of that. The one thing that we could incorporate, it could incorporate with other departments that need the cloud storage, because we will be able to have up to 10 users. But the three $42 license are for concurrent users, meaning there could be 3 different people actually accessing this cloud document and storage at the same time, and we would have the ability to increase that up to the 10 if we ever seen the time that, hey, there needs to be 5 people into this cloud at the same time. Listen, all of this is foreign language to me. I don't know what in the cloud means, unless you're flying or something.
No,
But
there's a lot of documentation, for example, payroll and stuff. We have to retain that permanently. We are just running out of space here. We have boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff.
They were shuffling boxes around the other day, like moving older documents to a different location and newer documents into the shelving in the little storage closet there in the courtroom. But this would be a click of a button that every document would be there.
And there's an app that works in conjunction with our copy machine to scan everything in and make it all work.
I completely understand why you would want this, because I've seen how much paperwork.
Well,
you have
and
in the
in
office.
searching for documents, we're having to pull contracts and modify or change and such like that. And you got to kind of think about, okay, which word would that have been filed under? And, because, you're only one word that it can be filed under, where this program, you can search whatever you're thinking, and it's going to pull that document up, so.
I guess my question, is there still a requirement to keep the paperwork for a certain amount of time, even though you have this? And do we have to have, like,
Well,
DLG approval to use something like this? Or I'm just wondering if we,
Well, and he said it's all audit based,
Yeah.
the auditor, it's all approved. Basically, we would just send them a username, password protected and all that kind of stuff. And they'll get on here and be able to see, the documents that they're going to need only for an audit, where they don't even have to come here. Like, we don't have to pay for the travel expense, or, their time will be so much easier for them searching for stuff too.
But he did say, Nicole, that this does meet the DLG requirements
Yes.
for document storage.
That's the
Yes.
reason I was
And
asking.
the records retention, schedules, and all that kind of stuff.
But you won't have to keep the paperwork
Right,
after this.
yes.
Question.
Counselor has a question.
Is this something that's going to be from this day forward, or can you go back? and
Well, we're going to start from
retroactive?
this day forward, and then as time allows, we are going to go back and even scan older documents in.
Because that's what they wound up at the clerk's office. It started this day forward. With
Yeah.
the grant money, they had a certain 1 or 2 people coming in that they hired. Basically, their job was to start going back on scanning old documents.
Yeah.
Here's another bit of language he spit out in our conversation that means nothing at all to me, and I think I've got this right, but Nicole's right in her answer to you. It'll start from this day forward, but we won't have any capacity limitations. We can scan back as far as we want to take the time to scan back and get all those documents there, because he said we had, 10 terabytes? Was it 10?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, and supposedly a terabyte is a huge amount of space in computer speak.
It's that take the word.
It is.
I have no a lot. But how far back do you, are the records in the office?
Well,
right
for
now?
example, payroll records have to be retained permanently, so, I mean, there's some up in this third floor that could probably go back to, I mean, forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't go up in the third
the
floor,
fire.
it scares me.
Yeah,
So we're
and
not-
I mean, all kidding aside, I mean, we say some things, and it sounds like, well, you're kind of joking, but, you know, we're 202 years old. In another 202 years, with the growth that we've had and the amount of papers and documentations we've got to keep, we'll soon fill the courthouse to the point that we won't have office space.
But we've also talked about, you know, if this pans out well, I mean, we're on a one-year agreement. If this pans out well and it works, you know, to our satisfaction, then, you know, I mean, incorporating other departments, I mean, planning and zoning, we've talked about them. I mean, they have filing cabinets over there full, and whichever other department, you know, it would help. I mean, obviously, the more people you add on, the more cost it's going to be. And those people will have to be trained and such like that, so.
I guess my only other question is, that $42 a month, is that correct?
Yes.
How long is that price good?
Well, we know it's good for the first year, because
Okay, is there anything that says anything about, I mean, if they get you on something like this, and then, you know, what keeps them from saying, okay, now it's gonna be $300 a month? You know, I'm just wondering.
Well,
if
and
there's any-
anytime we opt out of it, our records are our records, so,
Yeah.
you know, they're given back to us.
And they're
So-
going to have to be competitive too, Marty, because, I mean, Conoco Minolta's not the only one that offers the cloud storage space. I mean, there's other entities that offer that. So, I mean, they're going to have to be competitive with the market.
But that's fine, I just
Yeah.
didn't,
But you're right, I mean, it could be like cell phone usage. You know, your sign-up fee is $25 a month, next year it goes to 50.
yeah.
But I'm sure they're going to be market competitive, because there's several different entities that offer cloud documentation storage.
Okay. So this will be a one-year agreement with the option to renew after that 1 year.
Well, it will automatically renew unless we send them notification that we do not want to renew.
Okay. Hold on, I'll make the motion.
So we got a motion by Marty,
Second.
second by Nate. Any other question or discussion? As part of that motion, authorize the county judge to sign any necessary
Yes.
documents or agreements. You good with that too, Nate?
Yes.
Okay. Any other question or discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? All right, gentlemen, next, if you had an opportunity to review the budget transfers, we just need a motion and a second to approve those. Motion by Scott. Second by Myron. Any question or discussion on those? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, gentlemen, if you had an opportunity to review the cash transfers, we need to make one for $62,710 from the general fund to the jail. Motion by Myron.
Second.
Second by Nate. Any question or discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, gentlemen, the bills and claims. If you had an opportunity to review those, we need a motion and a second to approve those claims as presented.
Motion made.
Motion by Nate. Second by Scott. Any question or discussion?
Yeah, I have one. On the jail count, there's no food or, there's no KOL or Southern Health Partners or anything for that month, they not?
Did we not get a bill?
I mean, I
can
just called
check with
it, it's just
Michelle.
calling it. all-
I mean, I know the Southern Health is usually the third, we pay it in the third week, so it should be on the next one, but I'm not really sure about Kilwell, I'll have to ask her about that one.
Just normally you see something on there from them, that's the only question I have.
Any other questions? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next gentleman into reports, one thing that I will share real quick, Bobby may say more about it, he may have more information about it, but June 10th, 11th, and 12th is the waste tire collection here in Simpson County. It'll be at the county barn on Kenneth Utley Drive. I'll let Bobby talk about the hours to it.
Thursday and Friday, 7:30 to 3, and then Saturday will be 7:30 to 12.
Okay, so that's Thursday and Friday, June 10th and 11th, Saturday the 12th. If you've got old tires laying around, you're welcome to bring them out there, and they'll be hauled off at no charge.
Michelle's listening downstairs. She just sent me a message that says Kelwell is for the next meeting. So.
Okay.
All right. Myron, you have anything to share? No report. Scott?
No, sir.
Nate?
No report.
Marty?
When I come to the meeting this morning, the state was on Grove City Road, but they've told us they're going to come back today. They told us last week, now they're telling us this week. They're supposed to mill that lane off and redo that road, but I will say, that little hill right before you, if you're coming in to Grove City Road, right before you get to the Southern States plant, they had no sign. The state is out. I don't know what they were doing, but there was no sign saying road work ahead or anything. And I almost ran over that woman that's supposed to have been flagging because I popped over that hill and she was standing in the middle of the road with a stop sign. Just, talk to you guys to make sure that they're. It was the state doing it this morning. And they've come out and put that on, but I don't want to see anybody get hurt. And it's scary.
They were out there working this morning?
The state was out there with about 6 people and 2 trucks, and they were holding up, but I didn't see, they didn't really have any equipment, so I don't know what they were doing. But I'm hoping they get that road fixed too, like they told us they were going to fix it.
Yeah, it needs to be.
And then the only other thing is I encourage, just give everybody, everybody watch for the farm equipment because harvests will be starting in the next week or so. It's hard to move this equipment up and down the road, so just everybody be safe is the only thing.
Counselor?
Pay your taxes. Each month it gets worse and worse. Now they're delinquent. You pay at the county clerk's office, pay it full. If you wish to make arrangements for a payment plan, you can come by the county attorney's office and talk to me or one of my staff. I don't know, I haven't been told a specific date yet, but my understanding is there will be a tax sale in August. This is the 1st of June. Years going by pretty quick. Just respectfully suggest if you don't start making arrangements now, next thing you know, the sale will be upon us. So to save yourselves money and aggravation, please pay as soon as you can at the county clerk's office, or if you wish to investigate a payment plan, come by the county attorney's office.
Thank you for that, ma'am. Nate said he did have one thing to share, and then Pam reminded me of something that I guess I overlooked.
Yeah, there is one thing that I felt put out. Junior Wildcat football sign-up was last week. It ended Saturday, but there will be continue taking applications. Sign-ups for anyone K through 6th grade, and that's flag and tackle football also. Their goal this year is to try to start practice a little bit earlier. They haven't really set the date yet, but hopefully within the next month, they might start practicing a little bit so we can get ahead of the game this year, where last year we was a little bit behind at starting everything, due to with COVID. So you have to see Eric Midley. He's the one that you'll have to contact on sign-ups, and he works down at Harvey Gym. And that's all I have.
All right. One thing that it wouldn't get listed on the agenda, but I think there's one thing we do need to take up, and that is contracts with the jail for certain employee work. You guys should have a copy of the 3. Counselor, do we need to do these collectively or individually?
Individually, because they're 3 separate contracts with 3 separate individuals.
Okay. So we'll start first, is this contract with Mr. James Mooneyhand as a consultant. And if you read section 2 of all of these contracts, they'll be paid from straight, these individuals will be paid directly from the jail commissary. And I guess since they're paid from the jail commissary, I don't have to sign them, but the jailer will, correct?
Yes.
So we'd need to authorize the contract and the jailer to sign those contracts.
So moved.
Got a motion by Marty on the contract with Mr. Mooneyhand.
Second.
Second by Myron. Any question or discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed? Next, gentleman, would be a contract with Mr. Raymond Haddix. He would be as an instructor for the, is this for the GED program, jailer? Yes. And again, paid through the commissary funds, so it would need an approval for the contract and authorize the jailer to sign that contract.
Motion made.
Second.
Motion by Nate, second by Scott. Any question or discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. And then finally, a contract with Mr. Winston Roberts to serve as clergy at the jail. And again, paid through the commissary funds, so we'd need a motion and a second to approve the contract and authorize the jailer to sign that contract.
Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Nate. Any question or discussion?
I just want to clarify, this money will be transferred to the jail.
Actually, let me back that up to clarify that. He's right, the money comes from the commissary.
We would have to do a budget amendment because we do not have this budgeted for the new budget.
I prefer not to write checks directly.
He's right, I'm sorry, he's right. It needs to go through the fiscal court, channeling the money to the
We'll be doing a budget amendment on the first meeting in July, and of course, it'll take about a month to get it all worked out, so.
So, but if that being the case, we're going to have to back every one of these up and redo the motions.
We just,
You can't authorize the jailer to sign that
No,
contract if it's paid out of the general
it
fund.
has to be the county judge executive. I think the contract's already written that way.
No, it has signed by the jailer on the contract.
Don't.
The one did, Mr. Mooneyhand's.
Something about Mason.
Okay, we'll change that one, but I mean, the others, I think, have your signature on it. But I think,
But the motions don't, so that one's there.
okay, we'll change those.
Okay.
But we'll modify those. I think what you do is you move to set aside the contracts, redo the same people making the same motions. It's not that big a deal.
All right, so we'll go back. Pam, who made the motion and the second on Mr. Mooneyhand's contract?
The first one from Mooneyhand was Chandler Carmen.
So the change would be to authorize the county judge to sign that contract, not the jailer.
Correct. No, it would just be him.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I thought we were going to accept that somewhere.
So do we need to vote again, Sam?
Yep.
All right, so we had on the contract with Mr. Mooneyhand, the motion and second by whom?
Marty made the motion and Myron seconded.
So we need a vote on the change of authorizing the judge to sign that contract. All in favor, aye. Aye. All right. Now, who made the motion and the second on the contract with Mr. Haddix?
Nate made the motion, Scott made the second.
Okay, so Nate, Scott, are y'all good with that change, authorizing the judge?
Yes.
All in favor of that change, aye. Aye. Any opposed? And then finally, who was the contract with Winston Roberts?
Scott made the motion and Nate made the second.
All right, are y'all good with that change, authorizing the county judge?
Yes.
All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hopefully, we've got that cleared up. And we'll have to start the new budget with a brand-new budget amendment.
So can these not start until the budget amendment?
We might be able to, because we got, I mean, the only thing that was budgeted and relayed to me was the 24,000 for the SCORE program.
I mean, I think we can start them. We've got the contract authorizing it. We can start it.
Well, I see no reason why
We may have to
can't.
make two budget amendments. We may have to amend the current year budget, and then we may have to amend the new fiscal year budget.
I
And
mean,
we
I
may
really,
have, we actually may have to wait till the end, because unless, we got to exceed that commissary money as far as what's being brought in before we can make an amendment, so.
Right.
And just a point of clarification, the reason for this is things have been shut down for over a year, and the contracts basically were for a year, and since they were let go because of the pandemic, it seemed to me the old contracts had lapsed and we had to start over again, which is why we're doing this today, and everything's firing back up, and they're trying to expedite that. So I talked to the jail staff, and we all agreed it was probably the cleanest, most effective way to do that is to redo the contracts.
well, I don't think I had any, I just wanted to
Well,
know
I think this
if we
is-
had to wait. I would hate to have to wait until we did a budget amendment, so that's the reason I was asking if we had to.
No,
Well, that's the reason I was saying, I knew you was wanting to get this
I think we
broken
can do
on.
the ones with James, go ahead, but I'm just saying, that's what's going on, just for the public and anybody else who didn't know why we're redoing this. We already had this because they were let go and things were shut down because of the pandemic, a lot of other things.
All right. Is everyone good on those contracts now?
Yeah.
Okay. Sheriff, do you have anything to share with us today?
Yes.
Just an announcement for the public. June 14th, we'll have our auction at the sheriff's office. We'll be at 1 o'clock. A couple of hours before that, you will be permitted into our secured lot that's behind the sheriff's office to view items. Also, the week, that's Monday, June 14th. On, I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the week prior, during business hours, you can come and we'll let you back on the lot to look at things. So there's going to be several trailers. The jail has several mowers that they've put into the auction, so there's some zero-turn mowers, some weed eaters, a few cars, a few wrecked vehicles, but a lot of trailers. So encourage people to come to that auction. Any questions? Thank you.
Question. Jailer, do you have anything to share with us this morning? Okay. Chief, do you have some things to share with us from the fire department?
I do. I need to transfer a little bit of money from within my budget. I did one budget transfer that you guys approved today. I got that submitted in time. Basically, it's to purchase some new fire hose. We've been hose testing this spring. We're having a few failures more than anticipated, so I just needed to transfer, get some additional money, so another $1,200 out of the training over into the hose nozzles and appliances category. Any questions?
No, Nicole, they would transfer from where to where,
From training
from
to
training?
the nose.
Yeah, you actually did two. We did
nozzles.
one where we pulled some out of our public ed, and then our training, again, most everything we did was virtual. We didn't really do a lot of in-person training, so we kind of been minimum over years. We got a little extra money this year in the training budget, so I'm pulling some out of that, but we anticipate going back to full capacity. So this next coming fiscal years.
How long is one of them hoses last? I mean, I know it's based
How long?
on use, but
It really depends. I mean, we generally get 10, 12 years out of them. Most everything has a 10-year warranty on
Okay.
it, so at least our attack lines, and we'll send them back. They they do their thing. They may cut a foot off the end or something. It's usually where it leaks out. They recouple them, send them back. So, I mean, it's generally what we're seeing. Just give you a little bit of history. So, back when a lot of them were county fire. When Judge Henderson came, they went and bought a truck and bought a ton of hose all at that same time. And now we're seeing all of that hose start to fail at the same time. But again, I mean, that's 20 years.
20 years ago.
20-year stuff, so I mean.
You got a pretty good,
Well, a lot of it was cotton hose as well, and it just does not, you know, it sits in the truck and folds, it gets wet, it molds, you know, mice eat it and all that. So, I mean, we've got started getting rid of cotton hose years ago. We're doing everything synthetic. So it's just kind of one of those things through attrition. We're phasing it all out.
Well, I move for the budget transfer.
$1,200.
Yeah, from this training to equipment or hose, wherever. Okay, that one.
Yeah. So Marty's got the motion, Nate's got the second. Any other question or discussion, gentlemen? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Carter, anything with planning and zoning? Bill, anything with maintenance? Bobby, anything else with the road department? All right, gentlemen, if y'all would, I would need someone to make a motion and a second to go into executive session according to KRS 61.810, paragraph G, discussions between a public agency and representative of a business entity and discussions concerning a specific proposal if open discussions would jeopardize deciding, retention, expansion, or upgrading of that business.
Motion made.
Motion by Nate, second by Marty. All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed?